Birch Street right now in Roslindale, and take a look. These are obviously very small streets to begin with. It's an old city, but when you throw in this much snow, it becomes that much more of a hazard, and you see people have to walk in the roadways. There's your timestamp. By 2 a.m., we're getting in on some snow in southern Vermont. It quickly becomes heavy and steady in southern Vermont through the Upper Valley in New Hampshire around 5 a.m., but it's still dry and pretty much uneventful. Northwest Vermont, I want to take you to Williston, too. This is another one of those bands. See the deeper blues here? This is Route 2A, heading towards all the big box stores out of Essex Junction. Look at the visibility, really reduced with that snow. Elena showed us the roadways in Middlebury, certainly snow covered. The interstate has some pavement, but you know, it's hard for the salt to really do its job when it's this cold.
The storm, the school closures, the cancellations, and also we have some bad news from Phil.
Oh, 6 more weeks of this is what Phil says from Punxsutawney. Take a look at the hangar behind me. This is the area that was slammed by those thunderstorms last Tuesday and suffered major damage. But notice what happens here. It's a sharp cutoff. Back through Syracuse, already some clearing taking place. That's why by afternoon, sunshine and temperatures close to 60. But this rain is now falling on a lot of wet, heavy snow that's on your roof. So if you can tomorrow morning, before you head out to work, clear off the snow from your roof. Residents say it's the highest they've seen it in 20 years. Just in the past couple of hours now, water from the river is flowing straight down Pine Street onto Willow Street. And it's a strong northeast wind that's blowing in. So this is why we're seeing dramatic coastal flooding now, as we typically see in these major storms, along the South Shore. So places from Hull down through Scituate and Marshfield. And then it's cold at the end of the week for those shoppers. Maybe online will be the way to go. Teens for Black Friday shoppers.
I know, Burr, I don't want to be standing out there in the cold.
You're going to be out there. You have no choice.
I am going to be out there. You are right.
Now, meteorologist Michael Page with your Sky Tracker forecast.
Busy night of weather. It all revolves around the temperature. Look how we are on either side of freezing right now. So with snow falling, you know it's that heavy, wet snow, and with the gusty wind, that's why the power outages are a problem. Winter storm warning in effect for most communities because of that heavy snow moving through. Just an advisory in southern Vermont where warmer air is moving in. Take a good look at Sky Tracker radar right now. A couple of things I want to point out. Notice most places have flipped over to snow now after starting as rain. The exception, the Champlain Valley, we still have some rain falling in the Burlington area, Milton, Colchester too. But as the precipitation becomes heavier bands working in with the peak of this storm, it's going to draw down colder air from aloft, and we will also see that flip over here to snow. Again, though, along 89, central Vermont, it's all snow right now, and we just got a report in from Orford, New Hampshire, right on the Connecticut River, 2 to 3 inches per hour. That's heavy snow, and that's what's coming in right now with the meat of this storm. Plow crews can't keep up with that, so that's why over the next few hours it is wise to just stay inside. Look at the timing on this now with Future Tracker. You see the splotching of colors here. The deep blues indicating at least 1 to 2 inches per hour in terms of snowfall, and this will really ramp up and continue right through about midnight or so. Notice it then becomes lighter, though, off to the south and east, and as the precipitation becomes lighter again, with temperatures near freezing, we see that flip back over to rain and some freezing rain. That's what you see with the greens and the pinks here. Meanwhile, stays cold enough in northern New York for steadier snow to continue right into tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning's commute, not as bad as tonight, definitely not, but still lots of slick spots, some residual rain and snow showers, some pockets of freezing rain too. Through Vermont and New Hampshire, there's a steadier light snow continuing in New York, so it will last longest in New York State. Then another slug of moisture comes in with this storm as it keeps spinning around into tomorrow afternoon, but it's warm enough where most of that falls as rain. Still some pockets of freezing rain, though, and again, some more light snow, mostly for northern New York. But this storm continues to just sit and spin over us right into Thursday, so some more snow showers a possibility. So this is the peak of the storm tonight, but we're not done with it yet. So when it's all told, most places come away with 4 to 8 inches of heavy, wet snow. Again, the higher amounts, the higher up you go in elevation. So along the spine of the Greens, 8 to 12 inches plus. We've already seen some reports of close to a foot, if not a little over that, mountain snow down through places like Wilmington. Also 8 to 12 where we see the most snow. It lasts the longest over portions of northern New York. But as we talked about last night, Champlain Valley, that switch is taking a little bit longer. You'll be on the lower end of the range overall, and then much less south and east, where the rain will come back fairly quickly later on tonight. So a lot going on, and we're also watching those wind gusts, as I mentioned, with the heavy wet snow in this particular area. That's why that's where we're seeing over 10,000 power outages at this hour, and that's where the risk will be highest tonight. In this red area, highest risk of power outages, still a risk, lesser risk though in other portions where there's not quite as much of that heavy wet snow. So a lot going on certainly for the next 6 hours or so. We'll be watching it for you all night. As we go through the night, we stay around freezing with that wintry mix continuing, and then tomorrow we are around 34 degrees, still a northeast wind, steady as precipitation in the morning in New York, and then everyone else gets that second batch during the afternoon. finally starting to dry out as we get towards the weekend. No big swings in temperature either. Temperatures mostly in the 30s, right around where we should be for this time of year. MyChamplainValley.com always has more on your forecast, including interactive radar tonight. Very helpful to pinpoint what's going on in your backyard.
And you will be, of course, updating throughout the night on both 22 and 44 tonight.
Exactly. No matter which station you're watching, we'll have cut-ins through the course of the night, and then right here at 11, the very latest information as the storm, hopefully the peak, will be winding down by then.
Meteorologist Michael Page with your Sky Tracker forecast.
We enjoyed bright sunshine today. Tomorrow, though, totally different story. Lots of clouds, maybe a few stray flurries. Very messy on Monday with snow switching over to a wintry mix and then rain. And beyond that, there's just no end to the cold. Today, we were a good 10 degrees below average, highs only in the mid-30s at this hour, 33 in Burlington, 27 in Plattsburgh, 20 Saranac Lake. And notice the 20s will take us right down to the Upper Valley, 22 in fact, through Lebanon. So you get the idea. This is, again, well below where we should be, and there's no change to that over the next couple of days. As I said a few moments ago, the clouds are filling in tonight. That will be the trend. You see some lake effect snow showers coming in off of Lake Ontario. Of course, the chillier air over the warmer water creating those snow showers. That's why we might have a flurry drift through northern New York tonight and into tomorrow as well. Temperatures overnight settling back into the mid-20s. Not quite as cold as last night because we'll have more clouds around. But still, we'll have some low 20s in the Adirondacks, even in the Upper Valley, too, where the clouds take a little bit longer to fill in. Fairly light wind as well. As we get towards Future Tracker, though, I want to show you, as we go through time, the clouds filling in and then maybe that stray shower, lake effect related, in northern New York going through the overnight. That's really about it. But here come the clouds continuing to fill in towards tomorrow morning. And again, maybe that flurry, northern Vermont, northern New York, the best chance of that going right through the day on Sunday. Many places will stay dry, but if you're going to see a few snowflakes, it will be farther north. The bigger story will be more clouds for the second half of your weekend. Temperature-wise, will actually be a couple of degrees warmer than today, still below average, but in the neighborhood of 40. Springfield, Claremont, Lebanon 2, Rutland, and Quechee about 41, 42 in Bennington. We'll still find lots of 30s, though, from Jay and Keene over towards Saranac Lake, Lake Placid, Malone, and Messina as well. Montreal checking in at 37, same with St. Jay. Then on Monday, this is where things get interesting just in time for the morning commute. Take note of the timestamp here, 5 a.m. Notice we have some snow breaking out as a storm nears, and we'll put this in motion for you. See, as we go through the morning drive, we still have periods of snow. Now, the roads are still kind of warm at this time of the year, so it's not going to accumulate rapidly, but there still will be some snow to contend with as you go about your business on Monday to school or work. Warmer air, though, gets involved as we go through time. So look what happens during the afternoon. We switch over to a wintry mix and then eventually just plain rain for most. So some of the snow will be washed away during the day Monday, but still kind of that slushy, messy type situation with snow changing to a mix and then rain during the afternoon. This is what we're looking at in terms of snowfall. Kind of an early look, but right now it looks like generally a dusting to an inch or two. Southern Vermont, the Upper Valley, the Champlain Valley too. And remember, this will be washed away for the most part. A little bit more, though, up and down the spine of the Greens, Northeast Kingdom, more like 2 to 4, and in northern New York. That's where the transition will be last. Remember, the transition happens first southeast, last north and west, so a little bit more snow there. And then after this storm gets out of here on Monday, boy, it just opens a door for a huge push of cold air, and it's going to stay in place all week. We're talking about temperatures 10 to 15 degrees below average. This is not a warm forecast in any way. Clouds around 40 on Sunday, messy on Monday. Most snow early, switching over to rain. Both commutes will be impacted. Snow in the morning, rain during the afternoon, and then look at those temperatures as we go deeper through the week with a couple of flurry chances. Highs only in the 20s and 30s. MyChamplainValley.com has more on your forecast.